Okay, this is an interesting question from Tottenham Hotspurs. I actually like this question a lot. Your question is, when you step on the field, you start to turn into an a-hole, right? Your question is, how do you stop becoming so basically not fun to play with? You're critical, and you let out a fury on other people, and you're asking, how do you stop this? I think something that might help, well, I got a few things that might help. The first is, could be, well, I'm going to throw a lot of suggestions, and you could pick up, whatever you like. I noticed that after saunas, my peacefulness, my zen-ness, if you call it, I'm just a calmer person. And they say sauna, not only does it release growth hormone, improve sleep, it's gonna last for, they say, not only days but weeks. So sauna used will make you calmer. It's gonna drop your calmness down significantly. If you think about like your emotions and your mood, right? If they're at this level and you're riding like this, so let's say you step on the field, and then like you're mean to your team, and then you step off, and then like you ride the motions of life. After sauna, you raise your effectiveness as a person, and I think, and it almost, you could, so now even though your emotions are the same, you're operating at a more effective level, and I think you're actually, the ups and downs are less of a, does that make, I guess, what's the word, magnitude. The magnitude are actually, right, they've decreased because now you're calmer with yourself. And, to be honest, the reason that you're probably angry and that you criticize and condemn and say terrible things to people on the field, because there are underlying things that consciously or unconsciously that are going on in the background of your life. Something, maybe you haven't gotten over a traumatic situation, or maybe you haven't sorted your own affairs at home, right? It could be simple things. It could be, maybe you haven't invested in organizing your, just cleaning your room and making your bed. Like that might set you on a course where you're starting to set your home in order. They say, like, don't go criticize the world until you have your room and your affairs set in order. It could be what else could it be? Maybe you could be resentful about your work that you're doing. Maybe you got to switch up your job. Like if you don't look forward to what you're doing, or, they say some people will go through a whole day's work and no one tells them thank you, or no one tells them, I appreciate you. So maybe, that could be an opportunity to look for a change. Maybe you got to think about the relationships with yourself, and maybe with your parents or your kids. It's like the way you speak to yourself and the way that you talk to yourself is a reflection, and every single conversation past the one you have with yourself, right? Like if you can speak with yourself as encouraging, as forgiving, like as a human, right? You're just human. So to expect anything to, if you can't speak with yourself as an encouraging, as you want to lift yourself up, you got to be, as Jordan Peterson says, you got to take care of yourself as if you're responsible for taking care of yourself, right? You are here to help not only yourself but others. But until you take care of yourself, right, you got to fill your own glass up, because until you fill your own glass up to be able to help anyone else out. So maybe you were raised, maybe your parents or your siblings spoke to you in a way that now you're passing on to others when you step on the field. So that's something to consider. everyone's human, so you gotta be you just gotta take it easy a little bit, and especially if you're playing a game for having fun. I mean, I've been this person. I've been the person who people don't like playing with, because I've been that a-hole, and I've been someone who is no fun to play with, and I've also been the person who everyone wants to play with, because I flipped the script, and now I'm just trying to make everyone else play better, and I'm trying to you work hard, you're trying to play simple. You're not trying to do it all by yourself. It's a team, right? That's a team. That's the joy of it. So without anyone around, I mean, you could just train by yourself for the end of time, but there's no, right? It's got to be for the team. You want to make your team around you look better, and get their back if they fall, and lift them up. So I hope some of these ideas help. There are things I'm working on. I'm right there with you. I'm working on just getting better than myself from yesterday. So I hope this helps, and reach out with any questions. All right, thank you.